welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting, brought to you by Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. Please stay tuned.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Monroe North TIFA, and welcome everyone. And we have some new faces around the table, so I thought we'd all just kind of go around and give a brief introduction, our name, where we work, and kind of our connection to Monroe North. And some have changed over time, and I'll start, and then we'll just kind of work our way around to my left, if that's all right. So Sean Beal, I work with Advantage Commercial Real Estate now. Most of my career was in Monroe North. I have a heart for Monroe North. It's I spent 20 plus years there. So my current office is not in Monroe North, but still very, very much committed to what goes on there. So to my left.
Great. I'm Rick Wynn, president of Amway Hotel Corporation. Been there for 27 years, and yeah, just happy to be on this board.
I'm Deidre Deering. I'm the former president of the Monroe North Business Association, and for 10 years I ran that organization and felt it was time to step back recently, so did that in January, and someone else has taken the reins and doing a great job. But and I work at the Literacy Center of West Michigan, and our office was located in Monroe North, and we recently moved back in November to a lovely place over on Fulton Street. So happy to be there.
I'm Jim Baldwin. I'm the executive director for the West Michigan Mechanical Contractors Association, and a number of the member companies do work down here in the TIFA district.
Great.
Michael Drabeck, senior accounting manager at a software company based out of Boston, actually, so I work remote. I've been in the area. I love the area for the last, been here about the last 10 years. I went to Grand Valley, just wanted to be part of, the community since I work remote, so happy to be here.
Great.
Celeste McIntyre, I am the corporate controller for Corewell Health. So my office is at Corewell Health Place, which is on North Monroe. So excited to be part of the team here.
Welcome.
I'm Kay Dunn. I'm a long-term member of the Downtown Development Authority. But my activities are not limited to downtown because I prowl around Monroe North as a walker in the various parks. And so it's been really exciting to see what's happened in Monroe North. So I give those of you who've been intimately involved lots of credit for making things happen.
Thank you.
Mark Reedy, Director of Community and Government Relations at Michigan State University College of Human Medicine. New to the board, first meeting, and have been involved with Monroe North Business Association ever since MSU purchased the old Grand Rapids Press building, and excited to be a part of it.
Great, welcome.
I'm Jessica Wood from Dickinson Wright, and I'm this board's legal counsel.
And Tim Kelly, President and CEO, Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. We, since 2012, have managed the Monroe North TIFA. So we've been around for a while.
Thank you. Yeah. And just thank you all for coming. I know we have the meeting start time at 10, but we're at the...
Mercy.
Mercy, thank you. We roll into the meeting right after the DDA finishes. So sometimes it's at 10, but sometimes it's a little after. So thank you for your patience and flexibility. All right. And Deidre mentioned we hadn't met in a while, so our minutes are from October of last year. And to that point, Tim and I talk, and if we don't have any obligation to meet and there isn't enough information or topics to really discuss or move forward, we won't meet just to meet. So that's my commitment to you all. Your time is valuable. So we are reviewing the minutes from October 9. So those that are familiar with them, if we could get a motion to approve those minutes, I'd appreciate it.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? Any questions from the new group? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. If you're opposed, please say aye. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the audit, and Ms. Chapman's here to tell us about our audit.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
For the new members, my name is Tricia Chapman. I work for the City of Grand Rapids and do the finances and for many of the city's tax increment revenue authorities, work with economic development and all of that. My first item is actually the interim financial statements as of March. No, not a problem. At this point, we're about 75% of the way through the year and about 11% way through the budget. Not sure if that large expenditure for Canal Street Park, what the timing is on that, but that's a huge reason why we're only at 11% of our budget. And because we haven't met in a while, you will notice that Statement C are all of your expenditures from October all the way through the end of March. I'm happy to take any questions if anybody has any questions.
So you need us to approve, right, to vote to approve?
Accept Statement C, all of your expenditures.
And so for some of the newer folks, some of those items appear very minor, but it's our share of the expenses from some of the administration with downtown Grand Rapids.
I move to accept.
Support.
Okay. All in favor, please signify by to accept, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, so now our audit.
Yeah, the audit is also in your packet as of June 30, 2024. Plant Moran was our external auditors again this year. The city in total, as well as the Monroe North Tifa, received a clean, unmodified opinion, which is the highest and best opinion that an auditor can give. There were no findings, no disagreements with management, nothing like that. So it was a good, easy, clean audit for the Tifa for sure. I'm happy to take any questions on any of the the finance pieces of it, but at this point when the numbers are as old as they are and honestly not in the most friendly to use format, because we have to format our audit in the way that the state wants it so that they can compare apples to apples. But I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Do we have to accept the audit?
Accept the audit?
Yes.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay, so,
I'll move to acceptance of the 2024 audit.
thank you, Rick.
Support.
And Jim? All right, any questions? All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. The next item is the adoption of our budget. And actually, is it a recommendation to the city commission?
Yes.
So this action would be to recommend our budget to the city commission.
That's right. So it would go to city commission next, and then it would come back to you for formal adoption.
Yep.
Typically, there are no changes from when you see it to when it goes to commission, but that is the formal procedure.
Thank you.
Yep.
So we have the draft proposed budget in front of us. Tim, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll do
Speak
a
to
quick
this
setup,
one?
and then I have a couple of slides, and then we can have discussion or questions. Maybe just to orient you paper-wise, and sorry for the paper, but this stuff is easier to read when it's printed out. Two things here. One is an 8.5 by 11, which is your FY26 summary budget. This is what we're seeking your approval on. The larger 11 by 17 gives you a sense of 5 years out, so we call this our priority plan. Don't need your approval on that, but this will just kind of show you how things are stacking up over the next 4 or 5 years. So just a quick summary of some of the things that are going on. First, an orientation point, because we all probably think about a different area when we talk about Monroe North, so I like to lead with this. The Monroe North Tifa area starts at 6th Street Bridge and goes up to Colebrook, so it is this sliver of property. Obviously, there's interest beyond those boundaries. The DDA boundary also goes all the way up to Leonard. So from an organizational standpoint, we have work that happens through this area. But from a TIFA standpoint, you're really focused in that shaded area up there.
So just for clarification, that's where we are collecting our funds and where we need to invest them.
Exactly. Yep. Thanks for that. And for those of you that were on the board last year, this budget is going to look very similar to what it did, primarily because of what Tricia pointed out. So the big project that the TIFA is helping to fund and move forward is the Canal Street Park. improvements. So that represents this 1.5 million orange slice up on the screen there. And then I'll talk through a couple of the other things here. But overall, the budget request is a little over 2.2 million. Canal Park is going to break ground later this month, so scheduled for April 30. You should all have that on your calendar, and we hope to see you out there. We may get a bill or two before July 1, which is the end of this fiscal year, but we're expecting the lion's share to happen in 26, and then you'll also see on the priority plan for 27, we think there'll be another 1.4, 1.5. That may shift depending on construction schedule and how things move along. As you can see, we'll have capacity if more spending needs to happen in 26, and the TIFA approved a $3 million share of that construction project at their meeting in April of last year. So that's
just facilitating what
yes,
already approved.
Exactly. So anyway, it's an exciting time because this work is finally getting going. We've been talking about it for a number of years and hope to see it at the groundbreaking. Beyond that, some other things that we're budgeting for include some pedestrian enhancements along Monroe. Originally, we thought this would be included in the Canal Street Park project, but it ended up being bid separately because the cost overruns and just the design. So those are coming out separately. Those are shown under Goal 3 on the priority plan. So we're budgeting around $150,000 for those improvements on Monroe. For orientation, this is the boardwalk. This is Mason Avenue. Additionally, for those on the DDA, they heard this, but our GR Forward master plan document, which helps to also guide the work of the TIFA, we are 10 years into a 10-year plan, and so we are expecting to initiate an update to that. We don't expect it'll be to the scale that was necessary 10 years ago, but you will see some funding allocated in Goal 1 under Greenway and Corridor Planning. And then just some other long-term priorities and commitments that the TIFA has been involved with over the years. The DASH system that the DDA also helps fund, as well as Mobile GR, will continue to hold funding for that. The Grand Rapids Whitewater project, which has been pushed back a bit, we are now showing funding for that happening in FY 28-29. We continue to coordinate with Whitewater closely. That schedule might change. Their need for funds may change, but nonetheless, we continue to plan for it. And as we know more about their schedule for when they can actually get in the river and start working, we'll of course come back to you for when that funding may be necessary. And then I think the last slide here is just around downtown enhancement grants. And sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit, but this is under Goal 2. Last year, the TIFA helped to fund the improvements at Silva, and that project is obviously done and open up now. We are hoping there will be additional projects that come our way. We don't have any currently that we're expecting to come in, but nonetheless, we're preserving some funding so that in the event something does occur, we have some funding set aside. And I believe that's it. One thing not in your budget, but that we continue to track is the work on the Hill and River Network. So for those that are not familiar, that is sort of broken up into 3 projects. One is the hillside improvements. So for reference, this is 196. 6th Street Bridge would be right there. So very close to the TIF, and there will be some potential partnership going forward. But the project has a hillside component, some street improvements in the district, and then this rail tunnel connection down into MSU. Work on the tunnel, that is fully designed and through construction documents, and we're in conversations currently with MSU and some of the other nearby property owners about how that project could be delivered. Not fully clear yet what the schedule will be for construction, but we're hoping it'll move forward this year. Again, that's out of the district, but again, adjacent, so want to make sure you're in the loop on it. The other piece of it is this Division Ionia corridor, where we're actually looking to try and bring those 2 streets together, which we think will make it more efficient, maybe open up some more usable land. And that work is also fully designed, but we're in conversation still with the city and MDOT about, again, schedule and how that can happen. And then finally, the hillside is the biggest piece of all this. Currently scheduled between $30 and $40 million to do the full improvements. Will likely need to be phased and will need to be broken up. There may be a component of that comes into the TIFA that you all could participate in, and as we know more about the work, we'll keep you informed. that, I think, is the last slide I had related to the budget, but happy to take any questions or have any discussion.
For Tim, or discussion about the budget. I guess one comment I would make, and especially for the newer members to our authority, we have been working to spend the money we've been collecting. Our former city support had encouraged us to start spending the money because that's the intention that it's been collected for, and we have been working on projects. They just don't always happen very quickly. So when Tim says the groundbreaking on April 30 is exciting, it is exciting because how many years have we been in planning and discussing it? And it's exciting where it's what we're able to do and how we will be able to make that space more usable for our neighbors and our community. So it's good to see it on our budget. It keeps sliding. It's slid forward a few years, but here we are on the verge of breaking ground. Right. So that's exciting.
Definitely.
If I could just add one
Please.
thing. I just, also to the newer board members, so one of the difficulties relating to spending the money is that you can only spend it within your geographical boundaries. So that can be sort of limiting. So just a reminder.
Yeah, thank you.
From an education for me perspective, so looks like we had 1.5 allocated this year, which we are not going to spend. So does that stay at because is the total project still about the 2.9 million, or do those dollars go away and that's why there's another 1.5 for 2018?
Yeah, so we're showing we're estimating about 50,000 of the 1.5 that we budgeted in FY25.
Okay.
Will be spent. And so essentially we're rolling it over.
We're shifting it to accommodate the schedule of the project.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe another addition, the TIFA is only a share of the overall project. The city is helping to fund the remainder, and I think it's a 6.5, maybe even close to $7 million project.
Okay, thank you.
What most of our projects, in fact, I can't think of a project that we funded 100% of. We're partnering with other funding sources to help make it happen. Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Good question, thank you. Any other questions? Like some of you, this is new. Cam?
Are we applying the 15% of expenditures to reserve rule that we're using for the DDA?
That is the target we still use. As you can see, we have a hard time spending or showing spending up to that level. So we're well above
the 15%
in terms of expenditures. Yeah.
Thank you.
But that is that's the target for all of the public.
It's an
works.
interesting problem to have.
Sure, it is. It is.
So Tim, we need to recommend this to the city commission as well.
That's right.
So I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. All in favor of recommending the budget as presented to the city commission, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
One more thing to add, especially for newer members. So this sets out our target for the year. Any expenditure over $15,000 has to come back to you for approval. Obviously, Canal was already approved, but on some of these other initiatives and projects, once they're ready to go, they would come back to you for formal support.
Yep. And then again, process-wise, this goes to city commission and then comes back to us.
That's right. So if there's any change, you will be aware.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Tim, the executive director report.
Yeah, I don't think I have much on this because we've been budgeting for the past several weeks, if not months.
Sure. Yep.
This is not in the TIFA district, but wanted to highlight another groundbreaking that's coming up next week is for the soccer stadium over on the west side. So if you're not familiar, that's the YMCA. That's a partnership with Grand Action 2.0. DGRI, DDA, YMCA, etc. So exciting to see that groundbreaking happening. And then, if we haven't said it enough, don't forget April 30, the groundbreaking at Canal.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. Please come. We can send you more details if you're interested. But yeah, I think you have the printout there.
I do.
Should be an exciting day. Those
we're looking forward to
are the only two things I have for you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone that has public comment?
I
All right, seeing none. Any board member discussion or anything for the group? Yeah, come to the groundbreaking. We're looking forward to it. So our next meeting is scheduled for June
11th.
And again, the time will be a little in flux depending on the DDA's schedule, but we'll be here.
The
So,
DDA
I'm not-
officially apologized for being late.
All right. Well, with that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming and your participation.
Thanks, everyone.